Thank you, I'm Mr. Lehner, and welcome back to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. As today we take a look at investigation 2.3, 4-quadrant graphs here, and we're also going to take a look at profit and trying to predict our profit margin. Are we going to make money? Are we going to lose money? And we're going to take a look at another example in the CMP3 book, and in this one we're going to take a look at problem 8. So again, if you have your book at home, go ahead and open it up, start at page 50, flip to problem number 8, and we're going to take a look at this example to talk about the different profit margin you might see and how we can analyze it in both a table and up here in a graph. So it says the graph at the right shows a relationship between daily profit and outdoor temperature at an indoor water park on 10 days at various times of the year. That's a mouthful. What does that mean again? Let's take a look. Daily profit, so how much money they make. It says profit related to the temperature. So when we look at our two variables here, profit and temperature here are going to be our two variables that we take a look at. And then outdoor temperature in degrees Fahrenheit and our profit in dollars. Well, let's take a look at what this graph is showing us. If I look here, I know at the bottom tells me degrees. Well, what's halfway in between negative 20 and 0? Negative 10 degrees. If it's negative 10 degrees, I could then look here to see what does negative mean when I'm working with these negative integers. If I see what's between 8,000 and 4,000, I know that this would be negative 6,000. Well, what's halfway between negative 6,000 and negative 4,000? Negative 5,000. So on a day when it's negative 10 degrees outside, my profit margin is negative 5,000. Well, what does negative 5,000 actually stand for? That means I lost $5,000. That means of the money that it takes for me to run the water park, I'm going to lose money on days when it's negative 10 degrees outside. Well, let's take a look at, let's say, how about when it's 100 degrees outside? Now it's very hot outside. If I look up and I go to my profit margin, it says 0. Well, what does 0 actually stand for? That means on days when it's 100 degrees outside, I actually don't make any money, but I also don't lose any money. And what we call like that break-even point that we've talked about in class, that is the break-even point at $0. I didn't make any money, but I didn't lose any money. So if I look at these dots, I kind of see that they're all over the graph up here, and it might be a little bit difficult at first to figure out what that means, but this is what a business might do to kind of figure out their projected income, or their projected profit, I should say, based on certain days. Okay, here is what you are going to do at home. You're going to complete a table showing the data values represented, not a representative, but you're going to represent kind of how we did here. We said negative 10 degrees equals negative 5,000. I already gave you the first one right there. You can take a look, and then I want you to chart and table the rest of the information from this chart and see what you can make, what ideas you see from looking at it. Describing the pattern from profit related to temperature. So how does temperature affect our profit here? Again, we talked a little bit about independent and dependent variables. So go ahead and complete this table and then describe the pattern relating profit to outdoor temperature and explain how the pattern is shown by the points in the graph. Go ahead and pause the video and we'll see what you come up with. Okay. I'll zoom out a little bit here. There we go. Okay, and we're going to take a look at figure 12 and 13 here on the side. Again, this would be similar to what you've created at home. Taking a look at your figures here. You should have noticed, like I said, negative 10 degrees from that graph over there. I know that it's going to be a profit of negative 5,000. If I'm running a business, you don't want to be in the negative. It means you're losing money. But again, think about it. It's an indoor water park. When you think of water park, you think of nice warm temperature. I don't think of negative 10 degrees outside makes you want to go swimming. So yeah, that makes sense that they would lose money because they probably don't have a lot of people coming when it's that cold. When it's negative 5 degrees outside, they're actually at 1,000. Kind of interesting. Maybe more people decide today it's a little bit warmer. We're going to go in the car. We're going to go for a little indoor swimming. When it's 0 degrees outside, it goes up to 1,500. There's 10 degrees, 30 degrees, 50 degrees, 70 degrees, 80 degrees, 90 degrees, it kind of dips down again, and then at 100 degrees it dips down. So when we look at this pattern, it's kind of interesting to take a look at, well, what's actually happening here if you are the one running this business up here? what is the best time to have, what is the best weather for this park to be open? Well, if I look at this graph, I can see the points of the highest here at 50 degrees. They're going to make $7,500 that day based off of their profit margin. So that means they get all the money to cover the cost of running the park, and that $7,500 is like the extra money, like that's the money that they get to keep as their profit. So that's good to see there. Their best temperature there is going to be about 50 degrees. Now, why would that be? If I look, I would think, wow, the hotter the day, 100 degrees, why are they only breaking even? Why aren't they having a huge profit? I mean, it's really hot outside, so that might not make sense to me. Oh, that's right. This is the indoor water park. So if it's 100 degrees outside, what might people be doing? Yeah, maybe they're going to a water park, maybe they're riding their bikes, maybe they're swimming in their own swimming pools, or they're on a vacation somewhere else. So when it's really warm outside, somebody might be doing some other activity, maybe the beach, where they're not going to be going to this indoor water park. So when you take a look again, let's see if that makes sense with our entire graph up here and table. Yeah, it's kind of like cold outside, but they're still making money even when it's 30 degrees outside. It's cold outside, but maybe it's a heated pool in the indoor pool or the indoor water park here, and you go into it, then you're going to get a lot more people in here. So even when it's 30 degrees and really cold outside, they're still making $5,000. Even when it's 70 degrees outside, I mean, the weather might be kind of nice, but you're not going to be swimming. You're still going to make $4,500. 80 degrees, they're making $3,000, which isn't too bad. But then as you see, 90 degrees and 100 degrees, it's very nice weather outside. Chances are those people are outside doing some other type of activity, or like I said, maybe they're at the outdoor water park, or like Six Flags, which I'm sure a lot of you guys go to in the summer to enjoy yourself. So again, this is how we can kind of take a look. We look at the information we see on this chart up here, and we take a look at the profit margin. Remember, it's what you bring in the income, and the extra money you get to keep for yourself is what you've made or earned. That's the profit margin. And we saw how it's related to our two variables here. Our profit is definitely related to the temperature outside. So when you look at your, say your iPhone, or you pull out the weather, you're watching the Weather Channel, and you can see the temperatures, somebody that runs this business might say, hey, it's going to be 100 degrees tomorrow. We're not going to expect there to be very many people that are there. Or they might look and say, hey, it's winter time, it's 40 degrees outside, we can expect that we're going to get some customers in here. Or, you know, perfect ideal condition, hey, it's going to be about 50 degrees, we're going to expect a lot of people to come, we're going to have a lot of business, I might have to have more workers working during that time. Whereas if it's really hot outside, maybe I have a couple people take the day off because I know that we're not going to need them with those hot temperatures. So it's a lot of tables, it's a lot of charts, it's a lot of graphs. But as you look at these, you have to start to analyze, like I said, dig deeper into what you're actually looking at. Not just saying, oh, I noticed that the temperature goes up, or I noticed that the profit goes up, because guess what? Sometimes it might fluctuate up and down. You can see right here, yes, it definitely fluctuates the profit up and down. Thank you for tuning into Mr. Laniers Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.